Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, a place where we focus on the business side of art to help you attract more customers, increase profits, and ultimately live a life of creativity and financial freedom. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and this episode is a sneak peek look into our NFT course inside the Artist Academy Master's Program. So this is just a little bit of something that we're sharing here on the podcast that is actually in the mini step of process in our full NFT course. But before I visually show artists in the program how to buy Ethereum, create a MetaMask account, link it to OpenSea, and all the techie stuff that's in this giant program, I stress how important it is to think through why we are creating these NFTs in the first place. And if you're not sure what an NFT is exactly, don't worry, I explain it fully in the program. Or if you're not in the master's program yet, you can just go listen to episode 197 with Aloe. So just a few episodes ago, and he helps to explain a little bit about all of that and give you a head start. So this is basically the next step. After you understand kind of what an NFT is, sort of, you understand at least what it stands for. This is the next step. And this is the planning and creation strategy of the why behind everything. Before we go into pricing, before we go into minting and promoting and all the stuff, why would someone buy your NFT? And I think it just comes down to explaining what an NFT is first off, and we do that in the program as well, and like what the benefits are from owning one and what can someone do with it and all of the things. I'll help you answer most of those in this little sneak peek training video. So let's get started. Hey, let's make a plan for your NFT. Let's strategize, let's think long game before we get into how to create and mint and do all the things, which hold your horses, we're going to get there. But I think there's something to be said for someone who has a plan going into it and at least takes a couple of these tips. So as we're creating these NFTs, I want you to think first and foremost, why? Like put your mentality in the state of a buyer and think, why would someone want to buy my NFT? Why would someone want to own it, right? It could be, for one, that your art is just adorable and they really want to have it to say that they have it, and maybe they will find a way to digitally hang it on their wall one day. That could be reason number one, right? Somebody just likes the look of it and they want to own it and they see the future, that NFTs is in the future, and they want to have it. Reason number one, and I think this is maybe what the reason artists think of the most, that my art is cool, they want to buy my art, just like in real life, right? People want to buy our art, they want to put it on their walls. Like there's a way to put your NFT on your wall in your home, and so this could be the first way. So how do you get someone to buy your NFT if we're purely just thinking aesthetically? I want to encourage you to pick out your best artwork. So any artwork that you've done probably in the past year, right? Because we always practice all day, every day, and we're practicing continually. And so we're continually getting better. So likely what you created in the past year is probably your best work, right? Say you've gone through a couple Artist Academy challenges with us, like the Series 6 challenge, where we create 6 paintings in 6 weeks. That's some of our best work that goes into a series of a collection in real life, right? Not even on NFT's collection. We did it in real life. I would say that group of painting, whatever group of paintings that come to your mind when you think that is my best work, that is what we should focus on and make into an NFT. I think sometimes we can just be too close to our genius or too close to our art brand and think that maybe we have to make something completely new and then digitize it, or something that we've created won't be a good NFT. But I think it's best as artists and as painters or photographers or whatever, we have a group of best work. And how do you feel it? How do you know what's your best work? First off, it's something you've either sold the most prints of, or it's gotten you the most shares, comments, likes, attention online. So your audience has told you, wow, we like that one. What piece of art do you have that that has gotten that much attention from. And if you haven't created something yet that you've gotten a lot of attention from, maybe let's start from the beginning and create something that's gonna wow people. Something that when someone sees it, if a collector is just scrolling on Twitter thinking like, I'm just looking for other artists, say I tag you in something on Twitter, I retweet your thing, what's something that they're gonna see that's gonna wow them? So my personal opinion, my bias, take it whatever you want, it's probably not going to be something that you created in an hour, right? It's probably not going to be something that you even created in maybe a couple hours. It's probably going to be that painting that you spent a couple nights or days on, that you have either some fun detail or it's a really cool idea that's really original, or just something along these lines. But what we're looking for is that wow factor. Right now, currently in the NFT space, there is a ton of artwork that's very basic and very simple. Simple can be good at certain times. And I'm not downing anybody who has simple artwork. However, I think right now is the time to wow the NFT collector with our original ideas, our original designs, maybe really bright color, something different than just something that you can create digitally on the iPad and in Procreate in an hour. So dig deep. Think about what it is, and I would love for your first ever NFT to be your absolute best work. Okay? So we've gotten over that. Why else would someone buy this? Why would someone buy this NFT? So I'd say a lot of the reason people are buying NFTs right now, there's a big thing about it, there's a big buzz, is because it's very similar to stocks. It's traded like stocks, hoping that the value is going to go up and people are going to make money from it. So as the artist positioning yourself in this is primarily how I think of it. So yes, my paintings look good, they're pretty, but I have a very business money-making mindset, and I'm thinking, okay, if I buy something in the NFT space, I want the value to go up in it because I'm going to enjoy looking at it for a while, but I'm going to probably want to trade it whenever I want to buy something else or whatever. So you want to position yourself to be more either well-known or just make a promise to yourself to be like, I'm going to get into this NFT space and I am going to network and I am going to get my name out there just like you're doing on Instagram and Facebook and all the places, galleries, however your strategy is. I think really just first and foremost, going into this with whoever's going to buy my NFT, they're essentially betting that they're going to make money from me. And I do not think of it as they're using me. Don't even bring that negativity in here. Think of it as we are on a team together, and the more valuable I am, the more valuable my stockholders are or my NFT collectors are. And then if we make them money, everybody wins because we're making money if it gets traded and everybody's happy, right? So go into this not as, hey, I'm just looking to get rich quick. Think about it as your art brand is going to increase in value. And if you're starting from ground zero, great. You have a lot of ways, or you have a lot of space to move up very quickly. So really just position your mind in this, like, okay, they're buying stock into my art brand and I am going to make it worth it for them. This is not we're going to go into the NFT space, we're going to list a couple on OpenSea and then we're going to ghost. No, that is not what's going to happen. We're going to go and we're going to list and we're going to try to sell and we're going to keep at it. We're going to keep at it until we make some more trades, and we're going to keep putting them out there, maybe every day, maybe once a week, whatever you want to do. You're going to keep at it. And just like posting every day on Instagram, just like growing your social media, eventually you'll hit a point and you'll be like, and you'll have commissions coming in, you'll be busy. It's the same thing with NFT sales. Okay. I haven't personally experienced this, but I know it's the same thing because it's the same with every single art aspect. With print sales, with murals, with photography, you're going to do so much. And then you just hit this point where all of the work that you've done will pay off. And it's very similar to NFTs. So if you come into it thinking that you're going to get rich quick, maybe that's probably not the way to come about this. Let's think long game. Let's think, how can we make our art brand? How can we make it a good investment for the people investing in us? To that way we can all make money later on. Okay? Another way to add more value to your NFT is to attach something to it. For instance, I have started to attach Artist Academy scholarships to mine so that whenever people are buying them, they can either use the Artist Academy scholarship on themselves, or I can help them gift it to an artist in need, and they can then be a gifter to that, and they'll start to get emails coming back to them. This is all automated, and they'll start getting emails coming back to them, showing them how they are helping an artist and adding to their life and helping them build their art career. So that's a feel-good thing, right? Like, they're gonna have this feel-good thing attached to this, aside from owning this piece of art that they think is pretty, aside from investing in this artist that they know is gonna work really hard, because I'm gonna work really hard to continue in this NFT space and increase my value. That way they could possibly trade it if they want to. Plus, if they buy it, they're going to get an Artist Academy scholarship. So they're going to get that feel good that when they're helping another artist, like, it's a triple threat. So that's what we want to do with our NFTs. You want to give them a triple threat. You want to make it look pretty. You want it to be a good investment for them. You're a team. We're in this together. And you also want to give them some kind of maybe extra bonus or feel good or some kind of utility onto it. And so that way the sale and the utility, it all works together. So maybe start to brainstorm different ways that you can add to this. Aside from the promise that you're going to keep in this and their investment is not going to be wasted, which actually, let's just between you and me, like, that's kind of a heavy thing to hold. As people were starting to buy my NFTs, I feel a little like, oh, okay, I have to keep going in this. I cannot, which I wasn't planning on dipping out at all. But now there's like the little bit of weight. It's like having like an investor or a stockholder. You're taking other people's money in turn for their hoping for your success. And a lot of the owners that I've gotten, they've given me tips. They've brought me on their podcast. They've done all these things. And I'm like, thank you so much, because they're hoping that their time or their tips that they're investing in me is going to pay off. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. It's kind of a weight, if I'm being honest, but I think it helps to just keep us accountable and keep me in it. And not that I wouldn't be anyway, but it just to let you know, there's a little bit of weight that comes with it, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's just a certain way of looking at it and adds to the motivation. Maybe think of, whenever you're thinking of how to set this up, there's so many different ways to do this. Like, say you paint animals, say you paint dogs, and you really appeal to the dog lovers. Well, dog lovers are in the NFT space too. So you could say that you donate a percentage to dog lover, NFT, whatever. Or there might already be NFT people out there that are specifically doing stuff about dogs that you can partner with, and you can promote them, and you can go and see who's following them, and you can like their stuff and follow them back, and you can go and you can see who their audience is, and you can interact with their audience, and you can go. I'll give like the whole, like, how I'm doing this, how I'm finding people who are similar to me, and I'm going in and seeing their audience and interacting with their audience. The whole Twitter and Instagram and all the whole social media networking like that, I'll show exactly how I'm doing that in a later video. But just something to think about. Is there's like something that you can attach your art business to? Maybe like whenever I was first starting to do this, I was like, I volunteer a lot with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so it's like, maybe I could give a portion to them, and then they'll help me promote it too. And, we can work together. Maybe there's something like that for you. But then again, I was too close to it. I was like, wait, I have my own thing, the Artist Academy. Why don't I help grow artists and get the word out there more on Twitter and in the NFT space to help artists and give them scholarships to come in and learn? Oh my God. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited for a new artist to come in and start learning. And that's also a motivator to me. I have something that I give a shit about and it's helping other artists, and I'm attaching that to my NFT space, which just helps me keep going, so that I know if one doesn't sell, I'm going to still be posting. I'm going to still be promoting it, because I know that there's a scholarship attached to that, and I want that in somebody's hands so that we can get more people into the Artist Academy. So different things to think about. Maybe you want to partner with an arts program. Maybe there's a local arts thing, or maybe there's just a space that's very similar to yours that you can reach out to and say, hey, I'm new in here. Let's help each other. I want to promote you. You promote me. Like, just different things to think about. Another thing, why would you buy an NFT? Think about it. If you're really, really new to this space, you probably, if you've never been on OpenSea yet, and you're probably like, I have no idea. But as you're going through this and you're minting them and you're looking at other ones, maybe just go scroll on OpenSea for a while. Just go to OpenSea.io and just scroll at other people's art. So not even listing our own, just look at other people's art and look at the ones that you like. And think, why do I like this one? What is it about this one that I like? And then just think about, really just dissect it backwards. Put yourself in the mindset of the buyer. Why would somebody give a shit? Why would someone buy my stuff or over someone else's stuff? And it could come down to all the things that we just talked about, right? Like all the aesthetics, the feel good, something's attached to it, and the stocks part of it. So we're just thinking of ways to get that triple threat. And if you have ways that you are working for you, please share it in the group. And just to give everybody else ideas, nobody's going to copy anybody. We believe in community over competition here. So if you have something that's working or you have a really good idea that you want to just bounce around, share it with us. Share it in our chat, share it on our mastermind calls. We would love to hear it. I could talk about NFTs all day long. So if you have an idea or you just want to send it to me like on Instagram or whatever, or I highly recommend you share it in our mastermind calls. But either way, send it over. We can give you some feedback, maybe how to make it better. Let me tell you, the first NFT that I released, it was like 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5 later when I was like, I needed to attach scholarships to it. And it took me a while to figure out how to do it, what's the best way to do it, how long the scholarship be, how I was going to get it to my customers, all of those things, which I'll share in a step-by-step later on. Because I think that might be good for you to see like exactly how I'm attaching the scholarship to it. But I didn't know that right away. And once I decided it, I ran it by a lot of different people, or like, especially my husband. I would just be like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to insert a code, and that way I'm going to also give them a web page that they can go to, and then they can go and see, and I'll make a video about it. So I made a whole video about the scholarship program, and hi, I'm Andrea. This is what Artist Academy does. This is what it is. This is how to use your scholarship program. That way, every single person that goes to buy an NFT, they'll get their code that's embedded in the NFT. They'll go to the link I provide them that's embedded in the NFT. And then they will go watch that video on a separate page. They'll learn all about it. That way I only have to explain it once, and I can also use that video for promotion. So different things, but it took me a while to figure that out, to figure how I was going to do this, because I'm completely making this up. I want to help more artists, trying to figure out ways to do it, trying to figure out ways to sell more NFTs. Let's combine it all together. I'm just spitballing it. We're just figuring it out as we go. So don't feel like you need to have it all and just figure it out right now. But I do want you to think about it. Just plant that seed of how your NFT can be better and why someone would want to buy it. And for a lot of newbie artists that are in here, and maybe you haven't set up your website yet, which I highly encourage you to start gaining a following and start putting in all the other practices that are in the Artist Academy Advanced group, which you have access to by having this course. And go look at maybe some social media videos. Go look at some how to create a videos. Go look at how to market yourself. Go look at all those other videos, because it's the same thing. How do you get a customer in real life, right? You put your stuff out there, you practice, you show people what it is, you promote. It's all the same. I mean, with NFTs, it's a bit more on Twitter, but I'm getting a lot of sales from Instagram. It's the same thing. So I think the more you take some time and set up your art business now, the more set up you are now, the better, easier it's going to be. Not saying you can't start in NFTs without it being completely set up, but just setting it up and getting it started earlier rather than later, getting started doing a following, getting started doing all the things. Everything else in the academy relates back to this. This isn't just an NFT course and you're going to only do NFTs and then you're going to figure it all out. Like, it all ties together. Like they say, like going to the gym and if you're working out some muscles, like all your muscles are tied together. So you kind of have to work out the majority of them and to make it all like a one cohesive body. Okay, here's another one. Just to go over pricing a little bit. As Ethereum 2.0 is going to be unveiled, the gas fees are going to be a lot less. So it'll be a lot easier for people to buy. And I think all the fees are just going to go way, way down. But as of the recording is right now, we are in Ethereum 1.0 and the gas fees are crazy, which is why a lot of artists are like, why do you hate the environment? But it's being fixed and it's being fixed quickly. And I think the fees are going to go down. With that, I think it's going to be a lot easier for people to start buying. And I think there's going to be a flood of people into the NFT space, buyers and artists alike, because of all the fees going down. However, if you're in it early and you're like, man, I got to pay fees, like whatever, like this is what it takes to be an early adopter. You got to jump through some hoops. You got to pay a little bit more, but you're going to be set up in the long run. Whereas later this year, everybody's going to be starting new. So reframe your mind around the positive thinking of it. But let's talk about pricing a bit. So gas fees have to do a little bit about what you're pricing something for. But I'm a big believer in starting out very low and then going high. So whatever your low is, I do not recommend, if you are a new artist and you don't have that much of a following or whatnot, I don't necessarily know that I would come out of the bat, swinging, putting up an NFT that you've spent an hour making or two and say it's for $500 when you're selling in real life for maybe $100. That doesn't make sense. The NFT space, get rich quick scheme out of your head. It's just like the art business in general. It's just like the art business in real life. Start low and build high. When I first started painting, I sold my paintings for a couple $100s. I mean, when I first started, I did everything for free, right? And then you just kind of take what you can get. But my first mini canvas paintings were $100 to $300. It was really hard for me to get anybody to pay any more than $350 for a canvas painting. And then nowadays I'm selling them for $1,000. So it just took that slow climb over years to go up and up. Do I think it'll take years in the NFT space? Not if you network enough. I've heard interviews, and I'll try to get these interviews of people here in the group too, to explain exactly how to start out as more of a newbie artist, going low and then going high. But I've heard interviews of people saying they've started out putting out one every single day for 6 months, and then they're selling for a significant amount, and they've completely replaced their income in NFTs for all they do now. But they started out low. I'll link some podcast episodes in here so you can listen to a podcast episode from one of those. But they really started low, worked at it, and then it pays off in the long run, and you can sell for more later. So a good pricing strategy, I say, you don't have to listen to me. You can do whatever you want. This is just my personal opinion. And I'll try to get someone else on to figure out pricing with you too. But for a pricing, just to have in mind whenever you're about to mint and whenever you're about to create all these NFTs and whatnot, a good pricing strategy, I think, would be to maybe take what you're normally selling your NFT for, and then take what you would sell a print for, and then do somewhere in the middle. Wherever it is, I don't know, but somewhere in the middle. So say if you're selling an original for $500, you're selling a print for $100, maybe go $250. I don't know, maybe just somewhere in there, or maybe even start lower, like make $100 on one. And what the idea behind that is to build a collector base. You want to have a bunch of people owning your NFTs because that gets the word around. And if they trade them, great, you're making money from that too. And you're wanting to just build a collector base, because when people come on and collectors buy your stuff, they know a lot about the NFT world because they're in there buying, and they either like your image, they believe in your art, or it has something attached to it that has a feel good or some kind of utility, and they are buying into you. You can go and look at their wallets and see what all the other ones they bought, and you can strike up conversations with them and ask them questions, and they can become sort of mentors to you. That's what's happened with me. Lately, I had a pricing question because I was thinking about dropping a bunch of lower priced ones after I had already dropped some higher priced ones. But the lower priced ones, I didn't spend as much time on it. I just wanted to maybe release a collection. And I went to some of my mentors that have bought my stuff that I've connected with on Twitter, and I just asked them, hey, do you think this is a good idea? You're invested in my company. I don't want to lower the price of your investment. Do you think this is a good idea, releasing more at a lower price that maybe aren't as like cool as the ones you bought? Is that okay? Should I keep them going up even though I spent less time on them? And I just asked them, and they're getting back to me. I actually haven't. I actually have not gotten a response from them just yet, so I can't tell you what they said. I don't know, but I've sent a bunch of messages out today to 2 different collectors because they're in it too. They've bought my stuff, and I bet hopefully they appreciate me coming to them before I make any crazy decision. And yeah, they're just going to help me through it. And I know this because I've asked them questions like that before. And hey, where should I go? And they've sent me group rooms or Twitter spaces that I should maybe go and look in, or other people that I should follow that they like. And so I've just went and followed them, and they've helped me connect around, which is really great. So people like that, the Twitter network, the NFT network, they're all really, really helpful. And things like that, getting a collector base of helpful people by starting out low and making your NFTs attainable. That's another thing. Whenever there's a lot of very new people in and they're just wanting to maybe shop around, maybe do little purchases here and there and build up their collection because they think it's fun. They're not ready to make a $500 purchase yet. Some people out there are, but starting low, if you're a new artist, I think there's just so much power in that. Don't get greedy, basically. We're not here to get greedy. We're here for the long game. We are setting ourselves up to make money. Maybe not today, but maybe a year from now, we're going to be swimming in it. That's the mentality I want you to have. If you do a little bit of extra work every day in the long game, in a year, you're going to be set up. So don't get greedy too quickly. At the same time, if you're a more experienced artist and you're watching this, maybe price your stuff up to where you think it's going to sell, but you're also getting a really good amount for it. Like what I did, my pricing strategy that's working so far. I sold one at 0.1, which is about $275, which is crazy, which is a lot. But if you think about it, it makes sense. And it's why I have this pricing analogy with it. My originals are selling for about $1,000. My prints are selling anywhere from $50 to $300 in there. So I basically sold it what it would cost for a print. Although I don't have to pack that print. I don't have to ship it. The blockchain does everything. And if it's traded, I automatically get it. It's this is a kind of thing that I could definitely sign up for. So my second one, I charged 0.12, then 0.13, 0.14. And so I'm raising it about $30 every time. And I've had many people message me or comment saying you should really raise your prices a lot more if they're selling this quickly. And I'm like, you don't understand what I understand. There's value in starting low, making them attainable, and then building a collector base and not getting greedy. Because if I just put one out there, okay guys, I've sold a couple for 300 and a couple for 400. Now they're 5,000 after this, or now they're 1,000. That's a big jump. And there's a difference in someone who can pay 500 and someone who could pay 1,000 and someone who could pay $100. So right now, I'm just going to go with what's working and eventually, long game, get up to that $1,000 mark. But I am in no hurry because there is value in a sold item. Having your items be sold and not sitting there's a whole lot of value in it. That shows people, one, that your NFTs are valuable, that they're sought after, that people are buying them, which if other people see people buying them, they will then buy them. So starting low, making them attainable, and then building as you go. Same thing with your hourly rate, right? Most people have an hourly rate that they paint for. And typically, so mine started at about free, and then it went to about $30 an hour after I just got out of college. I got some painting stuff, had some painting experience, and then I went up to 40 and 50, and now we're over $100 an hour. In years, though, it took years. It's the exact same with your NFT sales. You can't just come out of the back. I mean, you maybe could, but I feel like I'm listening to podcasts and I'm listening to a bunch of different stories about people who 14-year-old kid made $1 million or whatever. I don't know what it was. But there's all these ones of artists who make so much. They did not make that in a day, and they didn't make that in a month either. It took a while. It took creating every single day. It took showing up every single day. And that's what it's going to take for your NFT business to really succeed. But just have that vision of, I can do this. And if I really think about it before I go and just throw something up there because I don't know what I'm doing, like let's think about it. Let's have a plan. Let's have a plan. Where are you going to promote this? As if you put something up there and without promoting it, you cannot expect to sell it. You just can't. People are not going to come find you. What I do, we'll do a full promotion one after this. I am sharing it on Twitter 2 to 3 times a day. I'm putting it on my Instagram stories multiple times a day, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest. I'm putting it everywhere, and I'm using hashtags and doing the whole thing. It's work. It is. So just getting it out there and showing up and just putting in a little bit of effort. It's not that much effort for me to just make a post and put it out there and do some tags. It's really just getting in that mindset to do it, making your stuff valuable, putting it out there, making it at the right price. It's all just like this weird equation that we had to figure out together. So I'm excited for you to go through this journey. The next couple of videos are going to be how to set up everything, how to do it, the nitty gritty, but I hope this quick 30-minute intro video on what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I really want to help promote quality artists too. I don't want, somebody to come out of this and then rip someone off or in the NFT space, because that'll give you a terrible reputation. We are not about the scams. We are not about trickery or whatnot. Just be genuine, put your genuine self out there, put in the hours, promote, and it will happen for you. I have no doubt. Effort is the secret ingredient to making any art business work, but the majority of people will talk themselves out of it. They'll make up excuses to why it can't happen for them without putting in the effort, without making it an NFT at least once a day, maybe once a week, promoting it everywhere, putting some thought behind it, putting some utility behind it, attaching something to it. Any artist that's going to put all that effort in, show up every day, promote it consistently for 6 months, I have no doubt you will do just fine. So let me know if you have any questions, and I wish you the best going through this course. And that's it. Thanks so much for listening to another solo episode. This was a fun little sneak peek into the Artist Academy Master's Program. Again, this is one of the videos inside our full NFT course where we show you how to do all of the techie things. I literally go through it step by step, a screen grab on my computer to show you how I physically create an account and buy Ethereum and transfer it to your different accounts and do it safely. More important, to not get hacked. We do the whole thing from linking it to OpenSea to, how to keep your super secret password away from literally everybody and all the things. And also how to create your NFT and mint it and how I suggest selling it and how to promote it and how I show you exactly how I promote on Twitter, how I'm attracting buyers. I've sold many NFTs so far, and I think I've just gotten a little secret here and just how to do it, but I physically have to show you on a lot of these things. It has to be a screen grab on many of the processes. I can't just explain it or you'll be like, what? I go where? And anyway, so if you would like to learn more about NFTs, it is in our master's program, and you can go and check that out at artistacademy.co. That's artistacademy.co, and we can walk you through the process of creating and selling and promoting and everything your NFTs. I think NFTs are still so completely new, and it's kind of tough right now, if I'm just being completely honest. It's kind of tough to get into this industry because there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, but my goal is to make it as easy as possible for you. So if you have some space in your artist plan for your business, highly recommend jumping into NFTs early, because that's what I'm doing and it's paying off. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about this NFT process. You can message me on Instagram or wherever. I love to talk about art and business. And if you liked this episode and you want to give it a review, I would really appreciate that. And if you give it a review and you send me a screenshot of that review on to my Instagram and say, hey, I reviewed your podcast. First off, I'll say thank you so much. And I'll also shout your art out on my Instagram of over 70,000 followers. I think we're up to now, which is crazy. So let me help you. Help me help you. Yeah. So you give a review. I'll shout you out. We're all happy. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. I'll see you next week.